Hello everyone. In the last class, we discussed the impact of screen direction, when to design in a vertical direction and when to design in a horizontal direction. In today's class, we will continue the discussion on this topic.
The first topic we will cover today is the concept of natural scrolling direction. With the increasing variety of devices, the direction of screens has become more flexible. So, when designing interfaces for websites and applications, it is crucial to carefully consider and design the scrolling direction. In other words, in order to develop more user-friendly interfaces, it is necessary to design more natural scrolling methods. If you want to place an element within a crowded page while ensuring a more natural scrolling direction, you should consider the following 4 factors. 1. Text quantity. It is recommended to design the scrolling direction as top to bottom in accordance with the direction of the text to align with users' reading habits. Regardless of the device type or screen direction, this factor should be considered. 2. Direction of the longer side. When the screen has a rectangular shape, there is a distinction between the longer and shorter sides. In this case, it is more natural for the page to scroll along the longer side. Look at the following 2 schematic diagrams. Think about it. From a physical standpoint, when sliding the same distance moving toward the shorter side tends to provide a larger amount of information. However, scrolling along the longer side feels more natural. Look at the schematic diagram on the right. Assuming the scrolling distance on the page is the same moving along the longer side, we retain more content compared to moving along the shorter side. This means that the changes on the page will be less pronounced, allowing users to focus their attention on the evolving content. In practical terms, moving along the longer side is more practical.
To give you a better understanding, let's look at 2 more pictures.
When scrolling the screen toward the shorter side, as shown in the picture on the left, more new content is obtained, resulting in a significant reduction in the original page. This implies that both the new and original pages undergo significant changes. On the other hand, when scrolling along the longer side of the screen, as shown in the picture on the right, more of the original page is retained, leading to fewer new page elements. This means that both the new and original pages undergo minimal changes. This approach feels more natural. Sometimes it is possible to make flexible adjustments to the scrolling direction based on the content layout. For example, in this image, representing the Android version of the Google Plus client, when the screen is in a vertical direction, the content scrolls vertically. However, when the screen is in a horizontal direction, the scrolling direction changes to horizontal. The third factor that affects the scrolling direction is the shape of the element. We often encounter situations where we need to arrange multiple images at once, such as arranging many photos on a single page. In these cases, the shape of the elements within the page can impact the naturalness of the scrolling experience. When the elements are square-shaped, they have a minimal impact on the scrolling experience, and the naturalness is mainly influenced by other factors. Let's take a closer look at the following 2 pictures. In terms of shape, if the elements have the same length for the longer and shorter side, the scrolling direction can feel uncomfortable regardless of how it is set. Since the screen is in a vertical rectangular shape, it seems more reasonable to scroll in a vertical direction. 4. The last and most important factor is the spacing between elements. When there are multiple elements on a page, the spacing between them can affect the naturalness of page scrolling. When there is spacing around an element, the side with narrower spacing tends to form a group and easily attracts the user's attention, leading them to browse the next group. Therefore, the user's gaze tends to move in a direction of larger spacing. Consequently, the scrolling direction of the page should align with this direction to maintain consistency. Therefore, deliberately setting different spacing is one effective method to make users aware of the scrolling direction of the page. Look at this case. By setting spacing to separate groups of elements and learning to group elements together, the natural eye movement that is formed can guide users to navigate horizontally, thus encouraging them to slide horizontally. Therefore, when designing, it is important to pay attention to setting different spacing between overall content and between elements. This helps users better perceive the scrolling direction. To make users aware of the scrolling direction of a page, there are generally three approaches. First, place directional indicators such as arrows or triangles to indicate the scrolling direction. Second, set the spacing between elements. Although this method is simple, it effectively conveys the scrolling direction and is a quick and efficient way to make the page more usable and save time and effort. Third, use clear and concise screenshots to visually express the scrolling direction. Please take a look at the images below, which demonstrate different scrolling directions by adding pagination indicators, arrows, or progress bars. The animated image showcases a great example of utilizing group-based eye movement and setting spacing to convey the scrolling direction effectively. The last and simplest method is to directly represent the scrolling direction on the interface through visual function.
By looking at these three images, you can easily understand their meaning.
This approach is the most intuitive and straightforward method. This method can be used in designs with images, text, or card-style lists. Of course, many pages incorporate both horizontal sliding and vertical sliding. This approach allows for better layout planning and adds visual interest to the overall design, making it more dynamic and engaging. When designing a scrolling layout that combines both vertical and horizontal directions, it is important to differentiate these four elements in order to achieve the desired effect. As we look at the example below, let's recap the four elements that affect the scrolling direction. Text quantity, the direction of the longer side, the shape of the elements and the spacing between them. Well, everybody, this lesson's content is crucial, so it's important for everyone to truly understand it. Afterward, please continue to revise and refine your own work based on the following guidelines. 1. By focusing on precise element shapes, spacing between elements, text quantity, and the direction of the longer side, refine all aspects related to horizontal or vertical sliding layouts. This includes horizontal sliding, vertical sliding, group-based eye movement, and layouts that combine both horizontal and vertical scrolling. At least 3 layouts with accompanying graphics. 2. Complete a format design for all vertical-oriented interfaces, excluding login pages, onboarding or welcome pages, and chat interfaces. Pay attention to aspects such as color, images, icons, typography, and overall composition. 3. Finish the format design for personal profile pages, 1 to 2 pages.
In this lesson's final part, let's see some examples of personal profile pages.
There are various format styles for personal profiles, but it is important to maintain consistency in the design according to the overall style and apply the concepts discussed in today's lesson.